Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Deb C, and place to be, it's Deb C. Bloop, that's me. Boop, Deb C. Hey guys, happy Sunday. I hope everybody is having a wonderful weekend and had a great day. I'm back. We are going to be doing two videos today because we're going to be talking about Thursday's lineup on Bravo. We're going to be talking about in this video the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Next video, I will be breaking down Ladies of London. So let's get down to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's season 15. It's episode 15. I have a water. Grab your favorite beverage. Let me know what you're drinking in the comments. Let's get into it. This season, I don't know if anybody else is feeling this, but this season seems like it is taking like years. I'm going to tell you this right now. They need to recast this show, because if I have to spend one more season hearing about Sutton, Kyle and Dorit going back and forth on how neither is a good friend to the other one. Listen, either make up or don't. I don't want to hear this anymore. This is getting boring. I mean, they put Real Housewives of Dubai and Real Housewives of Miami on pause, but they don't put Beverly Hills on pause. I don't know if it's because in the past, Beverly Hills was always like their shining diamond. Well, it's not anymore. That is obviously Salt Lake City. It's not Beverly Hills. Put it on pause, recast it, do something different, because it's just, I'm still watching, yes, but it's going nowhere. So let's recast this. Let's do something. Okay, we start off the show. It is the morning of the last day in Florence. Amanda and Sutton, they're sitting around in their room, and they start talking about dinner the night before. Amanda's coming out of the previous night feeling like very good about how it went. She's saying that she didn't just answer the questions that were given to her, but she pushed back a lot more than she normally would. And that is when Sutton says, well, listen, there was some stuff there were some things that happened that were said on the way back from Florence in the car. And I just need to let you know that what had happened. Erica had got on her phone, had entered your name into ChatGPT, and then read what had come up. And then Bose got on and she read some negative reviews of your business. And then Bose put her name into Chat GPT and read off her accomplishments and kind of compared her CV to your CV. Sutton was getting really weepy with this. Like, she was like, I spoke up and I said something, but I wish I would have said more. And I'm just going to tell you, honestly, this is exactly what she should have done during the reunion for last season with her so-called bestie, Garcelle. I mean, where was all of this? Where was this Sutton last year? All of this, and then she'll say later that, 6 years ago, whenever I came into the group, everybody surrounded me with support, and I just want that to happen for you too, Amanda. And she's getting very weepy about all of this. Now, off camera, the producer asked Amanda, why do you think Bose was comparing her accomplishments to yours? And she says, well, her digital course, very matter of fact, she says, her digital course doesn't make money and mine makes millions. She said, once again, she says it like it's something that she had practiced like many times in a mirror. Listen, I'm going to say, this is my opinion. You know that I'm not a fan of Amanda's, like, at all. But them looking her up and then reading it and going on and on, it does come off as mean-spirited. Because they're really not saying anything to her. They're just continually going on about it. And to me, it comes off mean-spirited because you're coming for her business, for like how she makes the money. Because once again, she mentions that she's the breadwinner. She mentions it a lot, that she's the breadwinner, but she's the breadwinner. But when you come for anybody's means of making money and supporting their family, I think that's mean-spirited. Okay, so also downstairs, Kyle, Kathy, and Erica, they get up, they're talking, and they talk about the evening before and Natalie and Kyle calling her a liar. Kyle's not backing down from calling Natalie a liar, and Kathy's like, listen, that's a strong word. You got to be pretty sure before you use that word. And Kyle immediately pulls like the sister card. She's like the loyalty card. She's like, I'm your sister. And you just met this woman. Are you going to believe me, your sister, or like someone that you just met? And Kathy immediately is like, well, I'm going to believe my sister. Then they start talking about Dorit and how she is always late. And Erica's like, she's late so much that she's giving me anxiety. Here's the thing. I love the fact that right in the middle of it, this is why we need people like Kathy and Jennifer Tilly, because they just add that comedic relief. Like they add that comedy relief like right in there. You know, everybody's going on talking about the same thing every week. And then you get somebody that cuts the somebody like Kathy or Jennifer Tilly that cuts the tension there. And Kathy's like, men don't like that. Men don't like women being late. That's the reason why Conrad Hilton couldn't stay married to Zsa Zsa Gabor. That's why he had to get divorced from Zsa Zsa Gabor. She was always late. I like that Kathy just interjects these little things from time to time. But Kyle says that she's worried because she's always late. She's always on the phone. She doesn't seem to be present. And she says she's concerned and she wants to help. But if you want to help her, and if you're concerned, why don't you go to her? That is one thing that I agree with Dorit. I don't typically agree with Dorit, but I agree with Dorit. If you're so concerned, why don't you come to me? Okay, so for the day, there's a group that's going grape stomping. It's Bose, Amanda, Sutton, Natalie, Rachel, and Jennifer Tilly. 3 of them are going bike riding. And I could have picked these 3. And it's Bose, Amanda, and Natalie. And the others are driving there. Okay. Meanwhile, Dorit, Kyle, and Erica, they're going to go for gelato. Kyle and Erica were like, hey, why don't we go out sightseeing and go get some gelato? But underneath, that's what they say, but underneath, they're like, hey, we want to get Dorit. We want to get Dorit by herself so we can talk about, all these issues that we have with her and we're not around everybody else. Now that can be seen 2 ways. Like that could be seen as, listen, we want to talk to her so we can get out what we have to say and not be, interrupted by anybody else. But it could also be seen as, like, is this an ambush? Like, I could see where it could be seen either way. Dorit's really not jazzed about this. She's like, after everything's happened, I don't necessarily feel like I want to go walking around with these people, with these women, but maybe this is an olive branch. Like, she goes into all these with like, maybe it's an olive branch when it hasn't worked out for like the last few years. I mean, a couple times it has. Maybe she's thinking it's like, oh, it's an olive branch because how things went at the Hamptons, you know? And Kyle was like, let's keep this going in LA. And everything seemed, maybe that's why she's thinking it's an olive branch. Okay, now the grape stomping. You know, I'm not a fan of Amanda's, but Amanda was really actually the only smart one to go and do the grape stomping because she wore a shorter dress. Everybody else wears like these long designer dresses, you know, you're going to stay in it. But I'm with you. But the one thing I am with Rachel on is Rachel's like, I don't know if I'm going to do, I hate feet. I'm speaking for myself. I hate feet. Like I hate my feet. I hate anybody's feet. I don't care. I don't care if Paul Rudd and Andrew Garfield were to come up to me and be like, we both love you and we want to spend the rest of our lives together. The only thing that you have to do is you have to rub my feet. I would say no because I hate feet. That's how much I hate feet. Okay. So after grape stomping, they're all standing around, they're drinking some wine, they're talking. Sutton brings up dinner the night before. And she was talking about how, listen, everyone else was called a liar. Like Natalie was called a liar. I forget who else she said was called a liar. Maybe like Amanda was called a liar. Everyone else was called a liar except for Bose. Bose wasn't called a liar. Amanda was like, well, I did say she lied. But off camera, Sutton says that people, when in regards to Bose, people seem to just tend to like fall in line with Bose because she has like this commanding presence and people don't question it. Like they don't use their critical thinking and they just fall in line. They don't question anything. I mean, I think that people fall, I don't know that people necessarily fall in line with Bose. I mean, I think some of the things that Bose says just like resonates with them. So that's just where I stand on that. But then Amanda is like, listen, I want to bring up a bigger issue. And she had a question of why were people trying to find things out about me on ChatGPT? Bose's answer was, well, the question was, who is Amanda Francis? Amanda then gives like her stats. Like she's like, I've had, you know, my rate of people asking for refunds for my digital courses are very low and this and that. And she's giving all of these stats, all these percentages. And Amanda is, and Bose says that, listen, I just want to hear about your business. If you were to give me like an origin story of what it was that made you start your business, like I would love to hear that. And then in the confessional, Bose is like, Amanda immediately, like when you ask her something or you bring up her business, she gets like very defensive and she gets insecure. If she was so secure in her business and in her life, then she could talk about it without getting flustered and without getting so defensive. And then they go to Amanda's confessional. Amanda types in reviews into ChatGPT. She types in reviews of Bozema St. John. And what pops up is like skepticism over her short tenures at the different corporations she worked, brand over substance skepticism. And then there's something that she sees and she's like, shut up. Shut up. And when she says that, I'm thinking that it's something that's like, oh shit, like a real mic drop moment. She's like, well, it's saying everything that they're saying that ChatGPT says about my courses. That that she is a very, she is, what does it say? It says that her courses are inspirational but lack tactical depth. They're high energy, but there's no real concrete advice for people to act on. And then, so it's just, she's like saying, well, ChatGPT is saying what they're saying ChatGPT says about me. So that's the big like gotcha moment for her. She's like, well, that's why she's saying it. Jennifer Tilly then asks, well, to Amanda, well, who told you this? Sutton says, listen, it was me. And I said it because I mentioned it because when I came into the group when I came into this group and onto the show like 6 years ago, everybody, all the ladies had my back as far as my business goes. And I just want that for Amanda. She started to get weepy again. And I want that for Amanda. And I just want her to know that we're behind her. And then Bose once again was like, you know, you just need to bring down your wall and let us see you. Let's see the genuine Amanda. Like she said before, she would love to learn about her origin story, like what made her start this. Amanda says like this is not something that I'm used to. I'm not used to being around people who don't, you know, she's used to being around people that love her, that people that get her. And she lives in this world where like everybody knows her, like everybody knows me, you know? So she's not having to open up and tell people about her life because like everybody loves her so much and they already know everything about her. This Bose is like off camera. She's like, who is she? Beyonce? Listen, I myself, Rachel is like, even Rachel's like, listen, I walk into some rooms and I know that there are people that don't know me, you know? I'm going to tell you, before Real Housewives started, I didn't know, the only person that I knew before the Real Housewives started, that I had heard of before this show started, I knew who Jennifer Tilly was. I knew who, on this cast, I knew who Jennifer Tilly was, and I knew who Rachel Zoe was. And other than that, I don't even know if I knew who Kathy Hilton was. Because back in the day, it was just like you knew Kathy, or you knew Paris Hilton, and you knew Nikki Hilton. But I didn't hear a lot about the mother. And if we're looking back at like other casts, I had known who Kim Richards was, and I guess I had seen like Kyle Richards because I saw Halloween. But other than that, and Denise Richards, I knew Denise Richards because she's an actress. And other than that, I didn't know anybody. So I certainly didn't know who Amanda Francis was. You know, I mean, you can't think that everybody knows who you are. And listen, my opinion, I get both sides regarding Amanda's reaction, like the being defensive. Immediately becoming defensive does come off as like, to me, if somebody's really defensive, then it might come off as like either you're insecure or you're hiding something. Like, why are you being so defensive with me? But I also understand the reaction because they're coming for her business. I mean, that is how you make your money. That's your livelihood. As far as like Bo's saying, I would like to get to know you. I don't 100% believe that she wants to get to know Amanda just because she's been going pretty hard for her. I don't know that I believe that. And Bose wants Amanda to open up, but I don't know if I was in Amanda's situation, I don't know if I would be able to open up either, because there's this woman who just keeps, a group of women who just keep coming after you. I wouldn't even want to hang out with them, if I'm being completely honest. So that's that. Okay, so Erica, Kyle, and Dorit, they go to a town. They go to a little village, San Miniato, and they're going there for a private conversation. Dorit, once again, she thinks they're going for sightseeing and gelato, but it's not. It's going to be a conversation. It's going to be some gelato and some conversation. A little more gelato, a lot of conversation. That was... If you know what song I'm trying to sing. A little less conversation, a little more action. I was trying to sing that. A little more conversation, a whole lot of gelato. That's what that was. Okay. So they go to the town. There is absolutely no one in this town. Like, no one in this town. Bravo had to have planted that gelato guy there, because there is no way in hell that dude is making any money. He was hired. He was paid by Bravo. He had to be, because there was no one in town. So Erica starts it off by saying, oh, listen, I'm getting tired of this. There's obviously some kind of rift going on between you, Dorit, and Kyle. So we need to talk about it. Let's talk about it. And Dorit's like, oh, I didn't know that there was anything until, and then Erica was like, well, listen, Erica brings up a good point. She's like, you're being late. And I kind of am feeling like it's disrespectful. I've said that. Listen, if people are continually late, number one, to me, that makes me think this person thinks that their time is way more valuable than yours. And number two, it's a little disrespectful. I always think that. Now, am I late from time to time? Sometimes. Am I late like she's late? No, she's late like a half an hour or 45 minutes an hour. Like, that's late, But Dorit says, listen, I hear that you're going behind my back. You're telling people I'm erratic, and that you're concerned. But if you're so concerned about me, then why aren't you coming to me about it? I 100% agree with this. And Erica then says, well, when I feel like anytime anyone says anything to you about something, it's met with defensiveness. And she was like, listen, I get it. I understand about when things are going rough for you and getting defensive, because that's how I was. And Dorit, what Erica says, Dorit then says that she takes this as she says, why are you coming at me? And Erica's like, I'm not coming at you. It's just, I'm speaking my mind. This is just an honest conversation that I'm trying to have with you. Like, if you're friends with someone, you should be able to tell them what you're thinking. Like, if there's a problem, then you should be able to go to that friend with that problem. I mean, Dorit wants Kyle to go to her with a problem, and Erica's doing that, and she's going right to Dorit, and it's all of a sudden it's coming at her. Kyle then basically says, listen, she then brings Bose into it. She's like, well, listen, Bose can say anything at any time, and it's okay, but I can't. And Dorit says, well, the reason behind that is because I trust Bose. I don't trust you. And that sends Kyle into like orbit. But Dorit's like, listen, off camera, she's like, I don't trust her because last season she was texting PK. And she's going to everybody else and talking about her concern with me. She's talking behind my back about me. And she's so concerned, but she can't come to me. Kyle's just tired. Kyle says she's tired of being singled out for things that other people are saying. Like, I'm not the only person saying it. It's other people too. But this is the thing. This isn't a conversation. This is the only people that are there are you and Erica and Dorit. So it's just talk about you and Dorit's friendship, because the others aren't there to defend themselves. You know, like, is this her way of deflecting? You know, and Dorit sees it that way too. She sees it as a deflection rather than her taking accountability for what she's doing. And Dorit tells her, listen, I have a problem that you couldn't come to me. Like, you have these issues and you couldn't come to me about it, but you can go to Bose. Dorit doesn't feel like she's getting support from Kyle. Kyle doesn't feel like she's getting support from Dorit. They're eating, by this point, they're eating gelato. They're trying to enjoy their gelato. Erica then intervenes, starts talking, and Dorit's like, listen, this is an AB conversation, so you can see your way out. She's like, Erica, I don't need you to talk. And Erica's like, no, I'm here. I'm going to talk, and you're not going to shut me up. And Dorit's like, well, I'm over this. Come on, let's go, girls. And they're like, no. And she's like, okay, fuck off. And then goes towards the car, gets in the car. Listen, they all came in one vehicle. Gets in the car, speaks some Spanish, Andiamo gets out of there, and then just leaves them stranded. I'm going to tell you, that is the one reason. That's one of the reasons why if I'm going somewhere with friends, I drive. That's one reason. Number one reason is so I can leave when I want to leave. Number two reason is so that I don't get stranded somewhere. And number three reason, so that I am not in somebody else's car and I'm unsafe. Boom. Those are the three reasons. But I mean, they're in Florence. They don't have their own cars. So she leaves. They're stranded. Dorit gets home fine. They have to call the villa, get another vehicle to come out. 26 minutes later, they get picked up and they get home. But on the way there, Kyle says, listen, everybody's saying the same thing I'm saying. So y'all better come correct about what you said about Dorit. So Dorit's home. She's upstairs she's in her room. Kyle and Erica get home, and then the other ladies get home, and they start talking about like what happened. She's like, Dorit left us there. Like, Dorit left us stranded in this small ghost town in Italy, in Italy. And Kyle says to Bose that the conversation I had with you, and I FaceTimed you from the Hamptons, came up. I told her everything else is saying like the same thing I'm saying. Bose said it. Bose is saying it. Rachel said it. Bose off camera was like, I don't like that she brought my name into this because I took my concerns to Dorit, and I don't like that she brought me into it. Rachel tells them, listen, I've only known Dorit for like 2 months. I don't know if this is new behavior or what. So don't lump me into this whole we all, because I'm not part of we all. I don't know. Later on, she was like, listen, that's not, for people to be late, it's not something that I like to do or that I appreciate, but I already told her about this. I went to Dorit and I talked to her about it. So don't get me in on that. So the ladies then leave for dinner. It's their last night in Florence. Rachel and Kyle, not Rachel and Kyle, I'm sorry. Rachel and Dorit are in one car, and all the other ladies are in another car. Rachel's really not cool and not good with Kyle singling her out. Dorit says, well, listen, the reason why she left was she felt like this wasn't coming from a gentle place. Like she didn't feel like it was coming from a good place. And she also left because she didn't want to have conversations about the others when the others weren't there to speak up for themselves. She said, I don't feel like she cares about me. I feel like she just wants to rile everyone up against me. And Rachel was like, listen, maybe this friendship isn't working. I mean, and then off camera, she's like, you got to trust each other. And there's no trust there. I'm with Rachel. This is not working out. So maybe don't continue to try and be friends and talk about what's going wrong and what we can do. You're not going to be friends. Just let it go, move on. I think those of us in the audience just want you to move on. I speak for myself and I think a lot of people just want to move on. So they get to the restaurant, but first, before they get to the restaurant, they have to get into a funicular. And listen, when Kyle was like, oh, it's a funicular. I know that word funicular because in Pittsburgh, we have I'm going to see if I can find a picture. I'll put it in here. So a funicular is a car that goes up a mountain and it uses a cable system. And we have the Duquesne Incline. We have the Duquesne Incline here in Pittsburgh, and we have two inclines, the Duquesne and the Mon. The Duquesne Incline and the Mon Incline. And that's how people get from Mount Washington, from the top of Mount Washington down to the Station Square area in Pittsburgh. So if I can, I will remember. If I can remember to put a picture, I will. A funicular. So it's the incline. And they get in there. It seems to me like Dorit is a little nervous about getting in it. So she's really not talking. And Kyle is taking that as being like, oh, she's shutting me and Erica out. No, it just seemed to me like she was nervous about this. They get to dinner. Oh, that's a beautiful view, a gorgeous view. So they're having a nice dinner. Everybody is being cordial until Kyle brings up, she's like, I find it awkward that nobody's talking about what happened. So Dorit says, listen, I left because I didn't feel like this was gentle. Like this wasn't coming at me out of concern. I feel like it was an ambush. I wanted this discussion to be about our friendship, but you brought the group into it, namely Bose and Rachel. And Kyle's like, well, Rachel was telling me she was very frustrated with you being late and your behavior. And Bose is like, were you? Rachel, were you really frustrated? She's like, no, I wasn't. But once again, Rachel's like, I'm not a fan of people being late, but I brought my concern up to Dorit. I talked to Dorit about it. And Dorit was like, listen, when Bose had a concern, she brought it up to me. But we were together in the Hamptons. At any point, you could have mentioned it to me, but you didn't. Like, why not? Kyle said, I didn't feel like it was the right time. Like, we were having a great time. We're getting along. Everything was going wonderfully. And I just didn't feel like it was the right time. So my thought is like, so if you're getting along and you're hopeful for carrying this on into the future, then why would you then go and talk about this to other people? Because we know it's going to get back to her. So that doesn't make sense. So to me, is it that you really are concerned, or are you just trying to like rile up people and garner support for your side so that then when it's brought out that it seems like more palpable to Dorit, you know? And then Kyle says another thing. Kyle's like, I don't understand. I don't care how you spend your money. That she does, though. I mean, clearly she does care about how she spends the money. I mean, you know, she's a big girl. Let her spend her money, how she spends it. And then, I mean, we all know foreclosure. We all heard about how the house is in foreclosure. But I mean, don't come out and say that you don't care how she spends her money when you were like talking about how she spent all this money in the Hamptons on clothes. So that was the end of it. It ended with Kyle saying something like, I wish you would stop riding my ass, or something like that. And then it ended in to be continued. And I'm wondering how, like, I'm wondering how it's going to be airing next week, this coming week, because on April 5th, we have the start of Real Housewives of Rhode Island, which is highly anticipated. And Real Housewives of Atlanta is back. So I'm not quite sure what they're going to do with Beverly Hills and Ladies of London. Like, what day are they going to move it to? Are they going to maybe move it to Wednesday because Southern Charm is done for this season? I don't know what day The Valley is going to air. So who knows? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. So in the comments, let me know if you watched, what you thought. If nobody told you yet today, you were loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world so it comes right back at you. Please always spread kindness because it is free and it is very much needed. Also, be aware of your surroundings. Be smart and safe. Let us hydrate with some water because I did a lot of talking. And if you're in a dangerous situation, please know that Dolly and I are sending our love, thoughts, prayers, and positive energy your way so you make it through. I will see you in just a little bit for my recap of Ladies of London. Okay, I'll see you in just a bit. Bye, guys. Bye.